guys. So this is a kind of a double request. One of them from a long time ago, and you know, forgive me if I don't know who it was that requested this. This was sort of right in the beginning and I didn't write things down. So somebody did want a review of the drugstore foundation that I had mentioned in something. I can't even remember. I know it was only a few weeks ago, but honestly. So I will be doing that too. Hopefully I can squeeze that into this video. And the rest of the video is in regards to my foundation routine and to do a tutorial. Now, as I was kind of furiously writing back people, I don't think I'm really going to be doing tutorials. I just think, you know, when I watch I watch Pixie Woo, the Scott Barnes, there's Billy B, there's Lisa Eldridge, there's, you know, professional makeup artists that I love watching, and I would direct you to those sites because they're just, you know, fantastic. You're really learning how to put on makeup properly. Well, not so much properly because everyone's got a different technique. You know, I know that, say, Lisa Eldridge doesn't like a lot of layers of things underneath before you put your foundation. Billy B does, he loves really rich products. So, you know, there's contrasting things, but, well, you know what I mean. What they did ask was, you know, if I wasn't going to do an actual tutorial, if I can just sort of do a rundown, and that I can definitely do. Okay, so where to start? So this is the trick. I think that if I figured anything out, my skin has always been dry and dehydrated. So this is really for those who have that sort of same skin type. I don't know if it's going to work for oilier, but I just think that the reason why my foundation goes on so much better than it did when I was, you know, in my 20s or such, was because I wasn't using a heavy enough cream underneath my makeup. I was prone to getting a lot of dry patches, flaky patches. I was really dehydrated. I don't drink very much water. I know that's, you know, sacrilege and blasphemous, but I really don't. You know, 90% of food, even a great steak, is 90% water. So you know, we get water. So here's somebody who doesn't drink water really at all. That's a no-no, but, you know, regardless. So I think that I hadn't used a heavier enough thing so that I would get those sort of dry patches, which is why I never really liked foundation very much. So what I realized was the heavier the cream, the better the foundation. Now, as maybe a trial and error thing, I would suggest maybe going out and buying a really inexpensive, cheap, heavy cream, such as Eucerin or Nivea or any of those really kind of inexpensive, because it's just really as a test for you to see if that's going to work. You know, definitely don't invest in something unless you know it's going to work for you. But, you know, after seeing this sort of rundown, maybe you'll be inclined to sort of trying that step, because I really honestly do think that that is why my foundation goes on as well as it does. You know, there's some days, you know, you all have off days, but what I usually do is, and I exfoliate all the time. The Clarisonic, I know it's not really an exfoliator, but my skin's so sensitive, it does tend to exfoliate it. I also use that Viva Gel enzyme, so it's not any particles. It's just but it really just sloughs off all of your dead skin. So that's another thing. Now, I tend to use oils almost every single day under my makeup, or if you don't like oils, then creams. Now, you know, there's the La Mer and then this. Now, if this is within your budget and you love it, you know, obviously stick with it. I know Kevin O'Quan used this under most of his foundations. If you don't have it, I wouldn't suggest saving up to get this. Yes, it's nice, and yes, I do like it, but it's really not worth it. And if it's going to break the bank, then no. Just, you know, because everyone has touted this as a holy grail, there's no need. This is just as good. I swear to you, just as good. Has a huge celebrity following, $40. I think I've mentioned it before. So there's that. And the SPF. So I've got a lot of layers on there, and then I put a primer on top of it. Now that's a no-no for a lot of people, all those layers, you know, heavy moisturizer, sunscreen, and then a primer. It works for my skin. I'm not going to show it because it's part of a Holy Grail thing, and I don't want to give it away, blah, 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 blah. So, oh my God, 5 minutes in. Right, when I'm applying this stick foundation, it literally is that, and I rub it in with my fingers. Actually, I don't use two. I don't know why I'm showing you two, because I really just use my right hand. And I rub that in, and it leaves a really, really beautiful sheen. If I'm doing liquid, and I've got this on right now, and I really love it. You know the finish? Pretty good. It is quite, well, you know what? I'm going to do that review later. So these are the two liquids, and this is what I use. I use the Beauty Blender. And rather than transferring it on the back of my hand like I did beforehand, or on a stainless palette, I just found I wasted too much. So I just took it straight from the bottle, did this, then did that, and then onto the face. I didn't go directly from there onto the face. And this is it wet. It's what I've used to put on the foundation right now, and that's it dry. So it does, you know, plump up quite a bit. And the reason why I love this is the finish that it gives. This is a drugstore foundation. I think that, you know, it actually gives a better finish than the Laura Mercier when I just use my fingers in some ways. So this I love because of the moisture in there, because of the water. I literally have it on and I just stipple it. I don't rub it. I don't do any of that sort of rolling. I just literally do that, and it just spreads it beautifully. If there are areas where it's too much, I turn it off to its side where the water is, and that's when I'll sort of roll off some of the product. I think having that water there gives you that really sort of second skin finish, because it really is just sort of, I don't know, the more moisture there is, the dewier everything's going to look. You know, the dewiness really is about moisture. So I really, really love this. I've used brushes. I've used other things beforehand. I've used other sponges, and they're nothing like this. To me, for my skin, for the products that I use it with, that's about as good as it's going to get. So love that. Again, straight, stippling, stippling, stippling. The next is with your correctors. So what I do with the corrector, you know, I just do a little swipe under there, and then what I'm going to do with this is literally just pat that corrector in. And when I do that, because it's spreading it, I'm constantly taking away. So what I'm doing is, woohoo, okay, so I've got that, and it's spreading, it's too much, I wipe off, get some more there, wipe off. So I'm constantly wiping it away because I'm going to be putting concealer on top of that. So I need really the thinnest little base there as possible. And because the Giorgio Armani is so fantastic, it really does give you that. So I do it that way. Then there comes concealer. And I'm talking that much, not even, if you can see. So I'm just taking it, whoa, yikes. What the heck? See, this is why I don't do tutorials. Like, it's crazy, right? So I'm just taking a little bit of that. I'm going to actually wipe that off. And then right on top of that. And then when I do this motion, literally, that is not even touching my skin. It's barely brushing my skin. So I'm not doing this motion and pulling the skin there. I'm tapping and then just kind of getting the demarcation marks very, very lightly. So then I'm doing that. And then last, setting it with that tiny bit of powder. Again, rolling it, tap, tap, and that's it. That's it for that. And then if I do have any spot, I use very thin little brushes. This happens to be an eyeliner brush. I think this is a Sigma. Or the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer, or Secret Camouflage. And, you know, if I have something right there, it's just dotting, you know, the same concealer there, and then just pressing with the fingers, you know, wherever you need to go. It's just on a very, very fine point. And then, you know, because I don't like to fiddle around, I think it looks worse. I think it adds, it kind of adds more attention to something if you've got a lot of product on there. So the sheerer, the better, because, you know, let's face it, we can't really truly hide it. You're going to see it, it's 3D, so you're going to see it. So it's better to use less and just try and cover it a little bit than, you know, like caking and just a heavy, heavy, oh my gosh. My time is up. Can you believe it? Okay, I hope that helped somebody. If I'm missing things, please leave a comment and I will try and fill in the blanks. Thanks.